Greetings, one and all. It is I, Mr. J, welcoming you to yet another, what I'm sure will be an informative and tragic evening of quiz-based content on lovewrestling.ca. Yes, that's right. It is time. It is now time for yet another edition of Quizplex. I must inform you all that I am contractually obligated to be here. I do not care who wins. I do not care who loses. Because in my humble, let's be honest, not so humble opinion, I know all these answers. And you should too. So, why bother? But isn't it funny to watch people get things wrong? That's why I'm here. And that's probably why you're here too. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your main event. That's right. It's time. It's time. It's Quizplex time. With your host, Zach Ralph.
What's going on, friends? It is the last Thursday of the month. That means it is time for Quizplex here on lovewrestling.ca. Thank you very much for joining us. This is your pro wrestling pub trivia show. This is actually the very last standard edition of Quizplex for the year before we have a very special Champions edition to round out 2021. Joining me tonight, I got three contestants looking to win themselves a $25 gift certificate from Pro Wrestling Tees and the third invitation to that championship game. First, I've got the director of Out in the Ring, the documentary exploring LGBTQ plus and their impact on the pro wrestling scene. Ry Levey, how are you, friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. Absolutely. Recently, you submitted the film to South by Southwest. How you feeling?
We have sent a rough cut version of the film, which means we've finished the main edit. We still have a lot of work to do in terms of sound, color, correction, all that other great stuff, but it's done. 4.5 years. So we'll see what South by says. And hopefully they say yes.
It is exciting news. Next up, wrestling journalist, musician, co-host of Tama's Island podcast with Tamatonga himself, Ross Berman. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Happy to be here, ready to play some trivia.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling confident going into the game?
Oh, I'm so very ready. I did some trivia in high school. Where most people were jocks, I was the trivia kid. So I'm ready to dust off those skills and get a little wrestling related here.
Excellent. And rounding out our trio, like he'll enter the ring and the crowd is going to chant that Holden's going to kill you. But the second you meet the guy, he's probably one of the most positive forces that you have ever met. Holden Albright, welcome to the show.
Hello. I read the email. It said it's pub feature, so I'm going to crack open my drink.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
I got a black cherry White Claw because wrestler. But yeah, I'm super excited for this. He said that he wasn't a jock. He was more of a nerd. I was more of the fat, no friends, and just played Burnout Paradise on PS3 with like random people. So like I know a lot or a little bit about a lot of things. So whenever it comes down to trivia, I'm not the best. I literally just promoted that we're live now by saying I'll expose just how dumb I am. But I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it.
Well, we are glad to have you, friend. And already the cheering sections are starting to come in, mostly for Ry. This is a Ry-heavy support team in the chat room. Our own Ed Freeze. It's Quizplex time. Let's go, Ry. Bobby, thanks for joining us, saying hello. And as is Dare Amazing, always happy to see you guys joining us for our live streams here at Love Wrestling. We've got Astrid, another valued member of the Love Wrestling team, cheering for Ry. I hope the rest of the rest of you don't take it too personal. Ry's just been involved in a lot of wrestling content. He's joined us on a handful of live streams, so he's already kind of got that built-in fan base.
Homie, I hope you win and you don't disappoint all these people.
I'm bound to disappoint. I've been doing it for many years, and but we'll see what happens. If I can escape with some level of dignity, I'm okay.
I love it. Self-esteem is just through the roof for this particular edition of Quizplex. But again, pub trivia is not the only game being played tonight. We also got a little bit of a drinking game, as it is pub trivia. You see, I don't run this show by myself. I've got a producer. Usually it's Spencer. Spencer is not available tonight, but that's okay. I've got another member of the Love Wrestling team, and not just that, he is also the OG, the original Quizplex champion, Lawrence Cartier. You're going to want, there it is. There he is. Lawrence, how are you, friend?
Oh, I'm back. This is the show that birthed me, that made me a part of Love Wrestling, that you cannot get rid of me. I'm like a tumor forever.
Oh, goodness.
This is the mistake.
We grow on people.
Yeah.
Well, Quizplex birthing people. That is not the mental image I was expecting to really carry out of this particular episode, but here we are. Lawrence will have several excuses to pop into the screen during the broadcast, such as point tallies and things of that nature. And when he does so, we invite you all at home to enjoy drinking responsibly, a quick sip of your adult beverages or otherwise. It being the holiday season, I'm enjoying an eggnog, which I'm sure is going to subject me to a lot of scrutiny from the chat, but I am ready for it. With that,
eggnog or regular eggnog?
I got adult eggnog happening, and a little bit of dark rum mixed in.
Okay. I didn't know that there was an adult eggnog. Whenever people were talking about eggnog, I thought it was just like regular eggnog.
Yeah, so you were just drinking the mixer?
Yeah, I just thought like that was, once again, nerd. I get it. I had no friends. They couldn't go, hey, let's do underage drinking. You kind of need to go to a party for that.
Now, I'm not saying this is going to affect the outcome of the game, and I'm not saying you're going to get easier questions or anything. There's no bias like that, but just just throwing it out there. Ross, how do you feel about eggnog?
Oh, I'm a big eggnog fan. I think when done right, it's a pretty good time. I think it has a time and a place. I'm not going to drink eggnog in the middle of the summer, but as a wintry drink, absolutely, 100%. I'll even drink it in January. Just it has its time, is what I'm saying.
Excellent. Lawrence, please feed him the easier questions for the remainder of the evening.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you misjudges. I truly hate eggnog. And I was like, who is buying eggnog in July? Who is selling eggnog in July? Guarantee that's not a good beverage, sir.
I guys earn your own after February.
Yeah.
Well, once again, I've got Pluggo on my case, dropping aliens, dropping flying saucers. Guys, I am not an alien. Just because I typed ampersand in a game of Quizplex, a game of blowing off stream, there's really no need to carry this on. I am not an alien. I am a human being. I'm an Earth boy like everyone else who is involved in this game of Quizplex.
That's what an alien would say.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly what they'd say.
That's what everyone keeps saying, but I don't know what a non-alien would say. Like, anyway? I
am going to say, Zach, that you are not an alien, because kissing ass has gotten me very far so far. So I've got to keep.
It's working for you, friend. It's working for you.
Cheers.
But let's do a quick walkthrough and explain how this game is played. I'm going to invite Lawrence to hit up the rule video. During the gameplay, each player will have the opportunity to answer 2 pro wrestling related questions. They will have 10 seconds to verbally answer each of their questions. If a player gets their first question right, we're going to move immediately to their second question. While the active player is answering their question, other players may also answer the same question on their whiteboard or paper. If the active player gets their question wrong, the other contestants can be awarded half points if the answer on their whiteboard is correct. Round 1, correct answers for the active player are worth 100 points, and correct answers for questions stolen from the active player are worth 50 points. Lawrence will be tallying the scores as we go. JPJ, thanks for joining us. How's everyone doing? And also, hey, Throwback, thank you very much for rating us, friend. Glad to have you and your people joining us on Quizplex. But with the rules laid out, with the points laid out, Holden, Ry, Ross, are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's go for it.
Excellent. So let's do this. Let's get fancy with the overlay. We're going to kick it off because he's at the top of the screen. Holden, you are going to be answering the first set of questions. Lawrence, I will invite you to. Okay, no, that's great. That's great. What was the name of Big Show Paul White's character in the Adam Sandler film The Waterboy?
There was so much talk about this a few months ago of being a possible action figure opportunity. I'm completely nope. I'm gone from this one.
I'll give you okay. With that, I'm going to ask Ry and Ross to present their answers to the cameras on their paper. Captain Insano. That is correct for both of you, gentlemen. 50 points for each of you. Actually, everyone who's playing right now, I forgot to mention this part. If I can invite you, all three of you, to click private chat along the side, because we want the people who are watching on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook to be able to participate and drop the answers themselves. And we don't want it, we don't want you stealing the answers. We don't want to make it too easy for you.
I've got private chat on.
Yes.
Excellent.
I'd had it on the whole time, and I switched over. I was like, oh, there's people here. Now I'm back over on private chat.
I only see private chat.
Perfect. That is quite all right. Then perhaps I am being redundant with this little explanation. Holden, I got a second question for you. Before adopting the Anaconda Vice and the Go to Sleep as his finishing move, what was the name of CM Punk's finish that was used from the top rope or sometimes the middle rope?
Pepsi Plunge. I've been trying to convince multiple people to try to give it to me in a match, and they're all scared.
Pepsi Plunge is correct. 100 points for you. Dare Amazing gets that answer correct. And regarding the Captain Sano question, we got a few correct answers in the group chat as well. With that, we're going to move on to the next set of questions, which are going to be afforded to Ry. Ry, are you ready, sir?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Excellent. Your first question. Here comes. Before working with the WWE, The Miz was part of what MTV reality show?
The Real World.
The Real World is absolutely correct. 100 points for you. And we are immediately jumping to your second question. Dare Amazing gets that answer right as well. Wow. Actually, Dare Amazing went even more specific. It's not just the Real World. It's the Real World New York. Dare Amazing, if you were participating in the game, I might afford you bonus points for that one. But you're just in the Twitch chat, so we'll have you on another time soon. Ry, your second question. How many championships did Jake the Snake Roberts hold in the WWF?
He never held one.
That is absolutely correct. He held 0 championships during his entire tenure in the WWE, which surprises me every time I hear it. Ross, your first question.
Alrighty.
Who was the first WCW wrestler to run in on a WWF match kicking off the Invasion angle of 2001? And no, Shane McMahon does not count.
Oh, Shane McMahon doesn't count? Okay, then I believe the first wrestler to run in on a WWF match, I want to say that it was Canyon.
I'm afraid Canyon is not the correct answer. Holden, Ry, I invite you to present your answers to the camera. Got Booker T and Booker T. Friends, I'm afraid Booker T is also not the correct answer.
No.
The correct answer is Lance Storm, who ran in and dropped a super kick on Perry Saturn on an edition of Raw. You were close with the Booker T. Booker T ran in for the King of the Ring triple threat match with Stone Cold Steve Austin defending his championship. And with that, I got a second question for you, Ross.
Bring it on.
Actually, yes. Whoever's running the Love Wrestling chat right now and ran away with his arms raised like a fucking boss. That's exactly how Lance Storm lives. Ross, the Rock's first acting credit is attributed to his guest appearance on That 70s Show. What real-life wrestler did he portray?
He portrayed his father, Rocky Johnson, and even he throws in like a little quote about like, my son's going to be really, really good at this someday. It's shameless as hell. I loved it.
It's a really great piece of fan service. It's absolutely correct. Rocky Johnson, when my son grows up, he will be the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. Really good piece of fan service there. With that concludes round one. And I'm going to invite Lawrence to pop back in forcing us all to enjoy another sip of our beverage and let us know what the score looks like at the end of round one. Hey.
Sup? Okay, we have a tight race after the first round. In third place with 100 points, we have Holden.
Yeah.
In second place with 150, we have Ross.
Yeah.
And with an early lead, we have Ry with 250 points.
Very tight game at the end of round one. Round two is just around the corner. We're going to take a very short break. In the next round, points are going to be worth even more. So again, as tight as this game is, it is going to be anyone's game for a good long while. We're going to be back right after this message.
Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it incredible how little or how much these people know? This is a pre-recorded message, so I don't actually know how much has been answered wrong and how much is being answered correctly. I'm only assuming that there is a lot of wrong answers, because I have no faith in humanity. By the way, you are tuned in to Quizplex on lovewrestling.ca. We are currently on an intermission between people getting answers wrong and people getting answers right about professional wrestling, right here on lovewrestling.ca. Stay tuned. The show will return momentarily. Oh, what's that? I had to vamp more because, contestants needed a break? So, all right, fine. I'm here again with a not-so-recorded message to say, yes, you are still here, and yes, people cannot respect guidelines of 30 seconds or less. I don't care if you have to go to the bathroom. Save that for later. This is time for Quizplex. You need to be here and stay here, because it's Quizplex, and where else would you rather be?
A stellar commercial break from the Wordsmith. As always, we thank you very much, Wordsmith. For those not familiar with the Wordsmith's work, you should be checking it out Mondays on lovewrestling.ca. Wordsmith on Poetry of a Promo podcast will re-envision some of your favorite pro wrestling promos as spoken word poetry. So worth your time. Nice little niche podcast. A lot of fun. Check it out. What do we got here? Ed, I will not be competing. I enjoy not looking like a fool and getting all these answers wrong. That won't be happening anytime soon. Dare Amazing, absolutely. We will have you on the let's make that happen. Please reach out via DM. You've been a great supporter for Love Wrestling for a very long time. Let's get you on Quizplex sometime very soon. Zach is an alien. Yeah, knew that was coming. Thank you very much, Ed. And Holden, I saw, where is it? I saw some Holden support. Here it is from Astrid. You can do it, Holden.
Hey, no matter what, we're all getting a medal in this. The benefit of 3 people.
I like that attitude.
Side.
I like that attitude.
Yeah, a medal. We got a first place Pro Wrestling Tees gift certificate available. And also runner-ups will get a free air guitar, which they will receive instantly, courtesy of Quizplex.
Okay, I was confused about that. What the hell is a free air guitar? Because isn't it more of an action?
I already have mine.
Yeah, I sent them out in advance. You can get yours?
No, I got lost in the mail. I think that's what I stepped on to hit me.
Yeah. Okay, actually, let's revisit that for a second, because just before we went on air, Holden shared the story of him pulling a full-on sideshow Bob. So please captivate the audience, sir.
So, I went grocery shopping, and, no one likes to make multiple trips. And, I went to Costco, so there's no bags. So I'm carrying, chicken breasts, chicken thighs, shrimp on top, and just, a bunch of stuff. And I forgot, I leaned my shovel on my recycling bin. And it's right next to my front door. And I opened up the door. I went to turn to pick up all this meat again. And my left foot just hit the shovel before I could grab the meat. And the handle just smacked me right square in the middle of the eyes. And I just had this moment of I wrestle a very aggressive style. So there's these moments to where, It's, oh crap, did I just break my nose? Like, I broke my hand and it took me 10 days to figure it out. I'm not the smartest. I'm in third place right now. I got an answer right though. So yeah, I spent, like, I was late hopping onto this, barely made it on time, but I wasn't sure if I broke my nose and I was gonna have like raccoon eyes at the beginning of this.
Ross, I'm going to put you on the spot with the very same question, but I'm going to answer it myself. But I think I too have had that like comic relief, something that belongs in like the TV show, the bad instance of, oh geez, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just Three Stooges comedy. I full on pulled the Michael Scott. I ran through a glass door once.
Through, not into, through.
Okay, no, okay. Hyperbole on my part. I bashed right into it. But like I was like down.
Still
Flat back
funny
right
as
after.
Yeah, still funny as hell.
You got one, Ross?
I've got plenty. I have a small dog. You don't understand the kind of Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin shenanigans you get into when you have a small dog. We don't necessarily have a collar on him all the time. He doesn't have a handle. He's just slipping through like a greased pig.
What kind of dog?
It's like a little Chihuahua pincher raccoon. Okay. He's got like it's like a Heinz 57. He's got a bunch of different stuff in him. He uses his hands a lot, so we're pretty sure he's a raccoon. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, he leads to some moments, so to speak.
Ry, what do you got for us?
Well, it's not an actual fall or a trip or anything, but I was on my way to a premiere in New York, and I decided to get out of the cab, and I put my leg forward, and the crotch on my jeans split all the way down to my knee, and I was commando in New York.
Only in New York. That's one of those.
Getting out of it right in front of everybody. Surprise!
Like dick and balls, everything?
Yes. I managed to pull the sweater off of me that was all over my dress shirt and semi-wrap it around.
Okay.
And
Did
that
you start
happened.
wearing underwear after then?
You know, you'd think I'd learned the lesson, because about another time I was out in New York, I was standing at the counter of a breakfast joint, and I was the zipper was a little ajar. So I've had this problem.
Why aren't you? I wear underwear specifically because of zippers. If I'm wearing like something that has a drawstring, one of them was just like, like the pants ripped open. The other one was my error, not, zipping up. Then there was another time where I went to go put something in the back pocket of my pants, and I don't know what happened. The entire pocket ripped the ass out of the. So I have clothing mishaps here.
My goodness! Thank you.
Switch the skirts, like skirts or dresses, like something that's a little.
I
more
know. Well, see, I've become a fan of the old undies now, as I've gotten older.
You don't want to catch a charge.
Clearly.
It's New York. You can get away with any fashion faux pas.
That was just one time, twice in New York. The other time was actually in Toronto.
Okay, I was going to say, as long as you're near the Port Authority bus station, you just can't get a ticket for that kind of thing.
I don't think
there's something worse going on 10 feet away from you.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
I don't know if you guys could see the view count, but it just went up over the course of Ry's story, and that's just absolutely fantastic. I also like where Dare Amazing's going with this. Exposed the Ry Levey story.
Yeah, it's a long story actually, because it doesn't just involve that.
It is an absolute
it's a long
fantastic
story for the endowment.
Oh, you're such a charmer, you are.
I thank you all for sharing those stories. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much for that. The good laugh. Anyone who's in the chat, please share your own comic pratfalls with us. I am hosting Quizplex, but I will do my best to bring them up to the screen if you are willing to share. But we got a second round of Quizplex to jump into. More pro wrestling pub trivia where the gameplay is the exact same, but the score board is different. Lawrence, I invite you to pop up that next video. Round 2, correct answers for the active player are worth 200 points this round. Correct answers stolen from the active player are worth 100 points. And with that, we are going to jump into round 2. Okay, bring up the screen. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness, I'm still recovering. Okay, yeah, let's expose. I keep clicking it. It's the best thing. Okay.
Out
Holden.
in the ring and out in the streets.
Well, with that, Holden, you are the first person who's going to be kicking off our second round. We've got your next set of questions. Your first of two for round 2. Oh my goodness, still recovering. Who are the first tag team to win the NXT tag team titles twice?
Oh, twice.
Yes.
See, I was gonna go with Neville, and I couldn't remember the other dude's name from like OG NXT. But to win the tag titles twice, I want to go with the Revival.
Your instincts are very good, friend, because the Revival, FTR, are the first people to win the NXT tag team titles twice. Also in the chat, they're amazing. Gets it right. Ed, no, not quite with Undisputed Era, but yeah, the Revival, FTR, are the first to have that accolade. I think they're actually the first people in NXT at all to win a title at all for the second time. After that, it was like Samoa Joe or perhaps Shinsuke. But anyway, you got the points, sir. 200 points in your bank. Your second question. Often touted as the original screw job, Fabulous Moolah and other conspirators stole the women's championship off of Wendy Richter. In this match, Moolah wore a mask and used what name?
I want to say it's Spider Lady, but I think it might be Spider Woman.
No, you got it, friend. You are just on a roll. It is Spider Lady. I was gonna accept the Spider because that's how some people refer. But bingo, on the money, the Spider Lady.
Just another reminder of how much of a scummy person Fabulous Moolah is. Every opportunity we get, Fabulous Moolah is a scumbag.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that, and I will drink to that even.
Cheers.
Wait till you see out in the ring. We got some new stories.
Hell yeah!
Oh.
By the way, I do want to say, during the pandemic, I've talked to a lot of like people of color, female wrestlers, LGBT, like a lot of minoritized talent. So like the documentary you're doing, I can't wait to watch it when I get a chance, because like I realized during the pandemic of how much representation matters between the George Floyd murder, the speaking out movement. Like representation is so important that on my Patreon, I do a watch along, and we were watching 97 Survivor Series on Sunday. And I forget who it was, but they were wearing like Confederate flags. And one of the dudes in the Zoom call was like, "Oh, see, Confederate flags," and no one had an issue. And I went, no. It's not that no one had an issue. It's the people that felt bigoted by that and stuff, that they didn't have a voice yet. So I want to like put over out in the ring that documentary, and just like
Thank you.
any person of color, any female wrestlers, any LGBT representation, like that is so important going forward post-pandemic in life, and especially in wrestling, where something we can all help that representation.
I think we're really excited. You know, tomorrow, the first of the QWI 100 without sports comes out tomorrow, and there's 200 out wrestlers on that list. So a year ago, it was only 100, and a year before that, it was 25. So we're at 200 active. These are wrestlers who wrestled in 2021.
Hell yeah.
So that'll start tomorrow. So shout out to Outsports.
And I do want to put over also of, if anyone hasn't seen the second half of the Dark Side of the Ring season, there's a lot of like heavy episodes of like morality though, and not just like a Fabulous Moolah or something. The Chris Canyon episode is my personal favorite. I think it's very underappreciated how important that episode really is.
Chris' story is very important.
Absolutely. You know, friends, I almost did not include a question about Moolah because, you know, like just because of, well, it's a very charged topic to bring up, but I'm glad I did because this brought up a really great conversation. Very much looking forward to out in the ring. And as you say, Holden, representation matters. And it's really awesome. As Ry pointed out, the amount of out wrestlers who are going to be celebrated tomorrow by, you said PWI?
QWI, which is Outsports' version of the 500, and it's all LGBTQIA plus wrestlers.
Most excellent. Thank you very much for sharing, gentlemen.
Yep.
We are going to move on to the next set of questions, which are going to be afforded to Ross. Your first of two questions. Which WrestleMania had exactly 0 men's singles matches and only 1 singles women's wrestling match? And it was a controversial one at that. We will accept the year or the WrestleMania number.
That's WrestleMania 2000.
Bingo. On the money. Just lots of fatal 4-ways, triple threats, battle royals, hardcore battle royals, and not
iced tea. And iced tea.
Yo, that Godfather theme slaps.
Yep. You're goddamn right it does.
Yeah, that still sits in a DVD somewhere in my storage closet. That's a DVD I begrudgingly
Did you guys
cherish.
watch the whole day thing that they did for that?
I did not.
So
I remember
on
what
the
you're talking about.
pay-per-view- On the pay-per-view, they did like from noon until the end of the show. They showed because it was one of the first WrestleMania accesses. So it had like Ivory, Coachman, I think was there, Cole. Like I remember, like I sat down. My sister unfortunately had like a party that day, and none of her male friends. She was like in grade 8. None of her male friends gave a crap about her party. They were just watching the wrestling stuff in the other room.
Beautiful, beautiful. I do recall that. I did not watch it all day. I don't think my parents would have really afforded me that amount of TV time.
Black
Ross,
box, bro.
your second question, Ross. Who was Sting's opponent in his final televised match with Impact Wrestling?
Oh man. I'm gonna go with. This doesn't feel right, but I'm gonna go with Bobby Roode.
I'm afraid Bobby Roode is not the correct answer. Holden, Ry, I'll give you another moment to write down on your whiteboard.
I'm gonna guess.
Got Jeff Jarrett, and we got, is that Kurt Angle?
Yes, Kurt Angle.
I'm afraid neither are correct. This was like the upstart swing with Impact Wrestling. It was Magnus, the TNA champion at the time. Yes, that was your second of 2 questions. Ry, you're going to round off round 2 for us.
Okay.
Here, Dare Amazing, well done getting that answer correctly. Very well done. Your first question of 2. True or false? WrestleMania 2000 for Nintendo 64 is the best-selling third-party game for a console by gross, not by unit sold.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say true.
I'm not going to confirm or deny that just because of the finite amount of answers for this one. I will invite Holden and Ross to present their answers to the camera. We got false, and we got no, false. And the answer, is false.
Yes!
The correct answer was WCW NWO Revenge that has that honor.
That's one of those things Bischoff brings up like every other week when he needs something to like be happy. He's like, well, don't forget, I still am responsible for the best video game ever sold for the N64, no matter how many times WWF yada yada. Yeah.
See, I got to listen to Bischoff's thing again. So
well, no, you don't. You just got to listen like 1 week, and then you'll get it for the rest of the week.
Hey, I gotta admit, I gotta defend Eric here. I was never a WCW guy, but like I enjoy 83 weeks. But I also like the entertainment business.
Yeah.
So like hearing him talk about like micro championship wrestling and everything like besides, but I definitely skipped the Impact episodes.
Yep.
Probably a wise move. Ry, your second question. Aside from her run as a co-holder of the title with Chris Jericho, how many times has Chyna held the Intercontinental title on her own?
I think it was only once.
I think I'm going to refrain from confirming or denying on this one because once again, there's like only a finite amount of answers. Let me see what Holden and Ross bring to their screens on this one. We got 2 from Holden.
I also, I'm trying to, there we go.
We have a correct answer in the bunch, and it is actually Holden who gets half points on that one. She held it twice, indeed.
I'm going to admit, I thought it was once. If this was my actual question, I would have said 1. I was given the option. I went plus 1 more.
Totally fair. She did win it off Jeff Jarrett first, and then she co-held it with Chris Jericho, and eventually was able to split that up. Anyhow, Lawrence going to invite you back in and let us know what the scoreboard is looking like at the end of round 2.
Wow, things are changing rapidly in this game. Truly a barn burner. Right now, suddenly fortunes change all the time. In third place, we have Ry with 250
Yes.
points.
From top to
And-
bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
yeah, that cracked Holden. No, hey,
Dude, it
hey,
wasn't on purpose, but it was solid.
dude,
I'm sorry.
I do not need
God
you to
damn
tell
it.
the world about my sex life. But if you wanted to know, hey,
Say
the dating
from first
profile.
to
Doesn't
that's
need to be on
that's the sequel to Exposed.
That's another 600 points for Holden. and 300 for Ry, just to be fair. But in second place, with a strong 450 points, we've got Ross.
Hold the line. Second
Yeah,
place.
staying right in the middle.
Silver strong, baby.
And currently in fourth place, going into our final round, we've got Holden with 700 points.
Ooh, see, I'm normally a heel, so I get the heat. I don't get the shine, but I get the heat.
Yeah.
Well done, gentlemen. As you can see, the scoreboard of Quizplex can just turn around on a dime, and I'm
I like
You just can't say it.
You're just desperately trying not to find his diamond even.
What were you gonna say?
I like
What were you
that
gonna
I'm
say there, Zach?
I like that I'm the
I think
like
the
that I'm
term. What was the term?
I'm so afraid to say anything right now. Luckily, there's one more commercial break in which I can compose myself and maybe get my vocabulary to be less charged. And we're gonna jump.
I'm in charge of this now. There is no commercial break. We're going to keep stewing in this for the next 20 minutes.
Second place. Second place.
Commercial time.
Second place.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now on an intermission, so do what you will. Refresh your drinks, go to the bathroom, feed your dog, feed your cat if you are so inclined. I don't know why you would be feeding a dog or a cat at this particular hour, because it is Quizplex, and every single ounce of your focus should be on this show. So, the cat, the dog can wait. Grandmother can wait on the phone for a few more moments. Call her back. She can wait. You are watching Quizplex right here on lovewrestling.ca.
Order has been restored over the commercial break. All is well.
Right.
Thank you for. But it doesn't take much to send me over the edge. But that's okay. We've got a third and final round, friends. High stakes in this one. It's going to be one question to a finish. But before we get to what the score look like for that one question that each of you will have, how are you all feeling going into this third and final? Oh, sorry. Hold on one moment, Lawrence. Ross, how are you feeling going into this third round from second place?
I feel great. I'm in this. I'm like the spoke that y'all are rotating around. I'm holding firm to that second place spot. I'm celebrating that silver medal already. You got to take it from my cold, dead hands.
I kind of hope that's how this game just stays. Like, I'm not rooting for anyone in particular. Big fan of all three of you, but like, if you end this game on second place, I will feel like this is a very telling and strong episode of Quizplex.
You and me both, Zach.
Holden, how you feeling sitting on the top of the mountain?
I feel good. I can't wait to lose.
Confident as always. Ry, going from first to last. Very.
You're not going to
Explain.
say it, are you? You're not
Nope.
going to say it. You're not going to say it.
Nope, very less charged version of less innuendo filled version of the saying. How are you feeling going into this last round?
Well, I feel like a bit of a the opposite of what the word. I don't know.
Do you think
It's
you're
okay.
powerful?
You
where
can do
are?
innuendo.
What was I'm a power one. Yes, I'm a totally power one.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
We've learned so much about each other tonight.
I gotta say,
Oh.
first you were opening up about like your underwear or lack of underwear situation.
That could lead to where I am right now.
Wait a minute, it wasn't an accident; it was an invitation.
Yeah, it was actually, yeah.
I told you, anything's legal by the Port Authority bus station.
Yep.
There we are, gentlemen. But let's take a look on what the score looks like for, the point value of round 3 looks like. Lawrence, we're only going to get one question this round for each of you. Correct answers for the active player are going to be worth 500 points. Correct answers stolen from the active player will be worth 250 points. So with that, we're going to work from third to first in order for asking these questions. So that means, Ry, you are first. We're going to ask you the first question.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Ed asking if we need a new host. That's actually a fair question. I'll let you know at the end of the broadcast. Lawrence, the first question. This is going to go to Ry.
Give me 1 second.
Oh no.
Well, I'll get
Okay,
a
let's
joke in there then. We're not really going from bottom to top because I'm more of a
There we
bird.
go.
There we go. Okay, what classic WCW event adopted the subtitle Thanksgiving Thunder in 1990?
Super Brawl.
I'm afraid Super Brawl is not the correct answer. Holden, Ross, I'll give you a moment to fill in your answers right there. What do we got? We got Starcade and Starcade. I'm afraid Starcade is also not the correct answer. We were looking for the Clash of Champions. So with that, we move on to the spoke in the wheel, the axle, the nucleus in which we all encircle. Ross Berman, second place. Oh, your question, sir. In Steve Austin's in-ring debut on Raw in 1996, he took on which current AEW star?
Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust.
I'm afraid Dustin Rhodes is not the correct answer.
Whoa.
Right?
Shit, I need
Holden.
a second then.
Yeah, take a moment. Take a moment. While you both take a moment, Holden, your cheering section has showed up. Mr. Bruce Wynn, get it, Holden. Maybe that'll send enough positive light in the universe to get you the answer for this question.
Okay, I think I got it.
What do we got? All right, Ross,
I'm guessing.
got Billy Gunn, and we got Paul White. I'm afraid these are all incorrect answers. The correct answer is Big Money Matt Hardy, who was wearing his, this was like predating the long hair. And he was just Jobber number 2.
Jobber Hardy.
Did he have
Jobber
plaid?
Hardy.
Was he wearing plaid tights?
No, this was like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like lime green or something, something flattering like that.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, we present.
They were wearing exactly what the Young Bucks are wearing now.
I mean, that's really not far off at all, especially when they went to like that whole when the Hardys had that whole like paisley kind of pattern on their pants. Very much a Young Bucks style. Okay. That means we have one more question to ask, and it's going to go to our current first place, Holden. Here comes the final question of tonight's episode of Quizplex. Who is recognized as the final WCW television champion? Now, because of the questionable creative decisions made by WCW at this time, we are kind of forced to accept two different answers. So if you get either of them right, that's you get the points.
Not a WCW guy at all. I can only think. I think like the final main event was like Steiner versus or Flair and Sting, but like Steiner and Booker T had like the U.S. title and the heavyweight title against each other. I know Jim Duggan grabbed a title from the trash can at one point, but I think that was a hardcore belt. But I'm gonna go with Duggan. Screw it.
Well, your instincts saved you there.
Shit!
Jim Duggan was correct. It was, in fact, the television championship that he procured from a dumpster. He found it in a dumpster in February after Scott Hall had thrown it in the trash in November. So I don't know how often maintenance comes to empty out the trash bins and dumpsters, but
I'm gonna
really
cover up
not
my dinner container from over here of just like wrestlers and sanitary. Like there's someone.
But with that, we got a couple people who got the last answer correct. We got Dare Amazing who got Jim Duggan. Dare Amazing and Ed also mentioned Matt Hardy in the previous question. Don't know, again, probably Spencer running it right now, but no, Leo Rush versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. That hasn't happened yet.
Dude, Leo Rush wasn't even born when that match happened.
Yep.
Probably not 1996. He may have been the wee baby Leo. With that, Lawrence, pop on in. What's the scoreboard looking like at the very end of Quizplex?
Well, they made it very easy for me, who's terrible at math, in third place, which was a terrible idea to put me in charge of the scores.
You did great, bud. You did great.
You ever failed math class?
What? Yes, I have.
How many times and which grade?
Sec 1. And like, I'll be honest with you, because I had a learning disability and like it was an old teacher in summer school, like I somehow gamed the system and he pretty much did the test for me. So I ended up getting 100 on the
underappreciated. Like 30 days, because like of course I was going to summer school for filling the whole course. I wasn't doing 2 weeks. But I failed grade 10 math 3 times. I only did the exam once. That was my fault.
Yeah.
Well,
so to the
lay
best
it
of
on
my
us, friend.
Yeah. In third place, we've got Ry with 250. And holding strong, living the absolute dream.
Second place.
400, a perfectly medium 450 points. Just lukewarm of a score.
Hell
the
yeah.
most inoffensive score you can possibly get.
I'm like a
is
hot
lost.
pocket. I'm like a hot pocket in a low wattage microwave, baby. Second place.
Oh my goodness.
And by process of elimination, Holden with what's got to be almost a record score of 1,200 points is our today's winner and moving on to the Tournament of Champions.
Congratulations, Holden. Cheers to you, friend. Before we do our closing quotes, actually, no, sorry. Before I even get to that, Lawrence, pop Holden on the big screen. We're going to force him into a victory speech right now. Victory speech.
You didn't show me how to do that.
I got you, buddy. I got you, buddy.
Second place.
The true winner.
I would like to thank my lack of
I'm the
social
bottom.
wrestling knowledge. The fact that you turned around and clearly like that is a fake background behind you, Zach. But it
I don't know
does
what you're
look like
talking
you
about.
just yelled at this chalkboard behind you. Dude, I'm surprised. This kind of sucks for me because now I gotta schedule in the like the champions tournament thing. So
well done, sir. As far as victory speeches go, that was certainly one of them.
yeah.
Lawrence, before we thank you very much for producing as always. I see I'm in like complete force of habit mode. Where can the audience follow you on social media, friend?
That would be at Cartier NDG on Instagram and Twitter. And hopefully I'll have some projects coming out soon with Love Wrestling.
Absolutely. Keep an eye out for those. We are going to ask Ry, the director of Out in the Ring.
Hey!
Where can we follow you on social media, and what other good stuff do you have coming up?
Everybody's favorite bottom, Ry Levey, director of Out in the Ring.
Never know.
And as many as can be happy.
All the ones that know. All the ones that know, they know.
Top, bottom. I'm the Meryl Streep of the activity. I can perform it any way you want.
I love you, Ry. I love you.
You are fantastic.
All right. So anyway, our Twitter for Out the Ring is at Out in the Ring. And our Instagram is at Out in the Ring Doc. And if you go to our Patreon and you sign up, you might have a chance to get one of our wonderful new t-shirts, which just came in. We got the Out in the Ring shirts. Patreon.com/Out in the Ring. And you'll learn all kinds of stuff about the movie. Now that we've submitted it to film festivals, we'll have all kinds of exclusive content, and it'll increase because it's been slow to build up. But now that we're done, we can start getting all that out there. And of course, as I said, I'm everybody's favorite. Thank you, Eddie.
With that, we're going to invite
with a U because I'm Canadian.
We're going to invite everyone's favorite second place, Ross Berman. What do you got going on? Let us know where to follow you.
If you want to see the silver medal celebration continue, head over to @Ross W Berman IV on Twitter, @Ross Berman IV on Instagram. You can find me every Tuesday on Twitch at the twitch.tv/Thomas Island, where we record every episode of the Thomas Island podcast, which drops Fridays, I believe, is the date that they drop now. I co-host that with Tama Tonga of New Japan Pro Wrestling, the former IWGP tag team champion. Also, rossberman.bandcamp.com for all your music needs, at Thomas Island for all your podcasting needs. And thank you again for having me. This was a blast.
Absolute pleasure hosting you, friend. And last but not least, our champion. After a thrilling victory speech, we invite you to drop your handles and let you know what's coming up in the weeks of Holden Albright.
Well, firstly, I just want to say I don't know if we're live right now because Lawrence posted in the private chat. But you can follow me Twitter, Instagram @HoldenPro. I wrestle kind of regularly. Patreon.com/Brendan C, BRENDONE, the letter C, because that's my real name. Because I also have a podcast. This is Brendan, because I was very afraid of that. I would Heath Ledger myself if I went too dark into this character I have, which is pro wrestler, amateur criminal / serial killer. So I was very scared of that. But I just started a link tree. So on my Twitter and Instagram, all my links are available there. I'm doing a YouTube video every day for December. I posted a match I just had with Kobe Durst last week, and we beat the holy hell out of each other. And we're best friends. You can listen to Tiger and the Wolf, where we get very high and just talk during Dynamite on the Patreon. So enjoyable time. Follow me wherever on those things. I appreciate meeting all of you. You guys are all, well, me and Zach already know each other, but like Ry, Ross, Lawrence, you guys are all great. Like I want to just like hang out on a Zoom call and be off Twitch.
I'm into that.
Yeah, we need to not be live, if you know what I'm talking about.
I tried to censor myself so much today because I didn't know like to swear or not.
Number one. No, sorry.
I mean, I think the people know.
Numero uno.
I think the people know this Love Wrestling is just a front for drugs. It's all we're going to talk about after this.
I was ready. I didn't have enough time though.
And I'm gone. The cops got me.
Hey, it's legal here. It's legal most places.
That it is.
Oh, Zach, I think you're muted.
Oh, yeah, that was. And I had this whole spiel about why I threw Lawrence out of the room after he was exposing our drug front. But that's okay. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us on Quizplex. Holden, Ry, Ross, this was so much fun. Holden, once again, congratulations. You are going to be... Yeah, absolutely. Round of applause for our friend here. You got a $25 gift certificate from Pro Wrestling Tees coming your way, as well as an invitation to the Championship Edition, which will be happening in the coming weeks.
What was, I want to say his name was Darren in the chat.
Was Darren Darren Amazing?
They're amazing.
Yeah, I think he got a lot of questions right too. Can you actually get in contact with him and give him that Pro Wrestling Tees gift certificate?
Oh, I think that's actually manageable. I would, I'm very willing to double check to make sure he's got a really respectable tally, and I believe he absolutely does. Holden, that is very kind. Thank you very much for doing that.
No worries. I appreciate that me and him both answered questions with a question mark.
He's popping in saying, really sweet. Absolutely.
And just to annoy her, get that Ruby Soho Bucky's t-shirt just because it screws with Heidi.
I love that gimmick that they are running. Congratulations to Dara's being passed around in our chat. I'm clicking the wrong buttons now. Please excuse me. Yeah. Dara Amazing, of course, says, thank you very much, Holden. Very, very kind act that you just did right there. Thank you very much. And yes, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight on Quizplex. We are, of course, going to be rating a friend of the Love Wrestling Network. We're going to be rating Putting You Over, who happens to be interviewing a past Quizplex champion in Shane Hawk, also known as Andrew Stott. They're going to be talking IWS and their big launch on Fight Network, FIGHT, not FITE. They're going to be going live in January, and I'm sure they're going to be talking a whole bunch of other great stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at SmarkMouth, on Instagram at Smark.mouth, and be sure to follow Love Wrestling CA on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Thank you much for tuning in to tonight's Quizplex. We're going to be back very soon with the Championship Edition. Take care, friends. Where's the video? Come on, video.
Ladies and gentlemen, the points have been tallied. The winners have been announced. The losers have been sent packing. And I am still, as ever, Mr. J, better than everyone that competed tonight. It is, as always, a fact of life. In case you're wondering when this lovely, lovely show will be returning, it is the last Thursday of each and every month, right here on lovewrestling.ca. We hope that you will return next month, and we hope that you